Long, March 10th. It's getting warm in Canaanland. It's getting warm. Finally. Finally. Here we are. Canaanland Moors. Once again, just, putting the information out. So we want to send a big Islam to all the Moors out there that's active, because we already know that's what it is right now. Active Moors, people who know that they're Negro, Black, colored, African, etc. You know that you're that, then you're on the side of going down with the ship. Because the ship's going down if you didn't know. It's all about nationality. So you don't do stuff to yourself when stuff happens. Because you avoided dealing with the inevitable consequence. The inevitable consequence. Claiming that you're something that you're not. Right? People are holding people who call themselves black or whatever with machetes, chopping their heads off or whatever right now. Right? And then other people are using that as the new colonization of indigenous populations who we have the documentation, right, as so-called cognizant people. We have the documentation of these so-called Aboriginal tribes somewhere in the world. Right now, they're exterminating them. That's the level of where the beast is. And where we at, still try to convince people that they're not who they say they are. And when they don't say that or whatever like that, we're still trying to be on their bandwagons, them being on our bandwagons when that position is dead in law. And anything that is considered black is getting exterminated. Considered dark, whatever, it's getting exterminated. Because that's the only way that they could get rid of melanin in their minds. Right? The beasts, the Jesuits, Rome, all of them. Oh yeah, Rome must fall. Don't forget that either. And Rome will fall. And Rome is falling. And we're on the peak watching Rome fall. We've been told people, yo, just go up there. And then we just look at it fall, and then after it falls, then we go down and do what we got to do. But no, they want to go chill. Right? Like Grand Chief Nature said, get lazy. Have a computer doing everything on it but study. When information's at your fingertips on a computer. Information's at your fingertips on a computer, and you wouldn't even try to find out what nationality and birth rights is about. And we're just putting it out there because, sometimes a Negro, black, colored guy might just click our stuff, you know what I mean, and get some truth for once in his life. That for the entire life, the consequences that we got in our lifetimes is because of us claiming to be something we're not. So Noble Drew Ali came to balance the books and cancel that debt of our ignorance, so we can take our place on, solid rock of salvation and do what it is that we're supposed to do as Moors. Because that's the only name that is going to be recognized here in the Americas. Because as you see what's going on in Indonesia right now, they're colonizing those areas just like they did with Africa or whatever. And it's not Europeans that's doing it. like murdering indigenous people just because they were picking berries or whatever. That's not propaganda machine like we get over here about violence going on or whatever in Iraq or something. That's real stuff that's going on. Why? Because Asia's owed a debt by the Europeans. And Europeans are giving up their rights. They're just going to say, oh, there's the collateral, and point at something black. Because if you're in the black, or if you accumulate black, right, you have profit, or you gain something. So people have been gaming financially, but now they can't do financially because fiat's dead. No more bailouts. Only thing, make people corporations and tax them to death in order to get fiat now. Just talk about, just today, out here, they're talking about property tax raising from 3% to 5% and arguing about, which one should it be. What do you mean? Should be zero. What's property tax? Especially Asiatics. Especially Negro, black, colored people who have mortgage, all this type of stuff that they can't pay. Right? But because of no nationality, we're subject to fraud. And watching our own brothers and sisters of modern times get what our ancestors got from a different branch of the, you know, ones that adopted the concept of colonize, which is most of the time in the world the northern, you know what I mean, people, right? That need that type of atmosphere to survive because the sun will kill them. Then there's others who, just they can go anywhere, doesn't matter, you know. Right? But those people are dark-skinned people, and these individuals of the north that because we're not gonna go with people turned into European people. Asiatics went into some caves or whatever because they got lost in an ice age or whatever like that. And then they came out as Europeans. And I ain't buying those ones. That one there, I'll go with Bobby Human Artificial before I go with these guys went up in a cave and then just became Europeans. Straight hair, straight nose, whatever like that. Walking on all fours, grunting and all this. No way. Right? And that's not slight or, hating on nobody. That's just reality so we can clear up why nationality is the order of the day. Because the European doesn't want to be nigger. Everybody's in it right now. Everybody's getting gobbled up by the beast right now, including Europeans whose inevitable consequence, they benefit off of this thing for all these years. When that's a fraud, that they didn't even know that was a fraud, mutual funds and all this type of stuff. The insurance, life insurance, death insurance, car insurance, freaking, you just make it up, whatever insurance, insure something. And you give somebody some fiat and then they're going to hold that for you. And then you use that when, time to collect. They already done spent that or whatever. They already know your chart, they already know when you're going to die and all that stuff already, so you don't need no insurance for anything. Because once you sign the contract, then, right? So the issue is status. Before anything else, before we talk about anything, before we go anywhere, whatever, issue is status. If you don't have a status, then you're void, right? We accommodate people who are stateless as Moors. We're not really listening to what people say or whatever. They talk about whatever they want to talk about. If they don't have a nationality, don't get it twisted that because we're sitting there having a conversation that, you know, something's happening. Like, your job is to proclaim your nationality if you don't have one. Because I deal with people who have nationalities, and, you know, we don't got no issues or whatever. I don't have to put down nationality card to get taxes off. Because they already know what's up. Because I have a nationality. It's just a common theme for people all over the world. Toronto's, go look it up. Toronto is the most multicultural city in the world. And it's been like that for years. Because ever since I've been going to school, I've been going to school with Sri Lankans or whatever out here. Right? So there's not nothing new, multicultural societies all over the world, little pockets, which is the number one multicultural society. Toronto is it. Why? Because Bobby Hemmett came here, told everybody, Toronto's the pineal gland of consciousness. Everybody's going to be coming here because there's something about this place. I came all the way from the south here, and I'm inside of a minus 40 room or whatever, right? Because the place where we had the lecture, the people who owned it shut off the heat, whatever like that. So we didn't have no heat, right? This was part of the try to get us out of the Marcus Garvey Center. Just sell out people out here who they already know who they are or whatever, pharmacists and all that type of stuff. People who got stores and all that selling drugs to the community, inject drugs and whatever. But they're the heads of a Marcus Garvey Center, right? And we're in a minus 4, it was about minus 30 something that night, right? The one lady, Dr. Charmaine, RIP, she gave us the key, secretly gave us the key so we could go and have our event because these people shut off the stuff. And she was like, well, you know, one of the coldest nights of the year or whatever, like, that's nothing. You know, Bobby Hemmett, you know what you're talking about right now? What do you mean? We're not going to have the event because there's no lights or whatever. Yo, got the little plug-in light, you know what I mean? So we had electricity, no heat. Got the little plug-in freaking heater, whatever, and it was still like minus 20 or something like that. In the room where the lecture is. In the room where the lecture is was minus 20 when we brought Bobby Emmett here. Right? And in that lecture there, he said that Toronto is something's different about here. Because I'm in a minus 20 room right now, and this room has 40 people in it. With pens writing with gloves on or whatever like that. Like, it ain't nothing different. We never turned to no Europeans in no cold area. We're Asiatics. We could adopt to, you know what melanin is? Melanin is the powers of every superhero in one. That's melanin. Carbon, whatever, if people want to play around games or whatever. Right? Superconductor of the universe. Only thing we got, we created. And that is tied to something on the earth plane. And everything on the earth plane that melanin, carbon, whatever is tied to is natural. It's from the earth. So it's indigenous to wherever it came from. And trace itself back or forward. So we're at a level right now where everybody's telling these people, Negro black colored people, everybody's telling them the movies, the rapper guy is coming out there saying more is in their songs or whatever. You guys playing around. People, whatever, all types of stuff these people get chances and chances and chances and chances and chances to claim their nationality. Don't want to do it, right? Just called it on Sabir Bay show. Barack Obama signed the freaking stuff, right? Signed the Declaration of Rights, signed on to it. What he signed on to it for? Because he's a constitutional lawyer and he knows that there's indigenous people out here. Stephen Harper signed on to it too, who was the prime minister out here. Right? And people really think that he's marching for some Selma. He's not marching for no Selma. This is a PR opportunity for a president to look good to the funders of the whatever. You don't care about holding the old lady's hands and stuff like that, walking on the street. And these people are going to be marching or whatever. And nothing happened tomorrow. Guy gets shot up again. You know what I mean? And then they're doing a marching ritual on something called Bloody Sunday or whatever. Right? People still getting shot up. You know, nobody's not saying, hey, maybe we should just stop, marching. Why don't we just stop marching? Because, nothing's not happening. You're just wasting gas money. We'll march. Right? Everybody's going after indigenous people right now. Right? It's not secret. With the flag behind him. You know what he's about. CEO. Top dog. So he's the public figure that they would use to make statements. U.S. Not United States of America. That they say that they're supposed to represent or whatever. U.S. Telling people in their face, U.S. Corporation declares what? Right? A jurisdiction, a political jurisdiction, which is diversity of citizenship because U.S. is a private corporation. Venezuela is a national state of indigenous people on top of that. Right? Coming out and telling people that these people are indigenous. Oscars. Everybody's getting on Sean Penn. Sean Penn's evil genius. Right? Evil genius. Don't care what anybody says or whatever like that. Big up Sean Penn because he knows what's up. Right? Sean Penn refuses to apologize for his green card Oscar joke. Right? The biggest spectacle, right, of European whatever with regard to entertainment, BT have their BT awards. Okay, well, they got their European show off ourselves, walk on the carpet awards. And in their awards, they have a European who's talking like this at their prestige stuff, whatever, that they're the actors of the whatever. On February 22nd, at the 87th Academy Awards, Penn, tasked with presenting the Best Picture Award, made waves when he opened the envelope and first asked, who gave this son of a bitch his green card? Before announcing the winner as Birdman, directed by Mexican-born Alejandro Inarritu. That's not no Mexican name. Inarritu? That's a Mexican name? Inarritu. Inarritu. Many wondered whether the joke was distasteful. Now, where's the distaste in Him asking him, where's the, who gave this guy a green card? Because really, who gave this guy a green card? Why would you, as a U.S. whatever, say that, yeah, we're a threat against the whatever that's, indigenous to the Americas because of, they're selling whatever like that, and we want to be the ones who sell that. So they have to stop selling that, or we're going to not, and then we're going to start a war for whatever. But then you're going to go to the biggest prestigious stuff and give an award to somebody in your jurisdiction that, and then the name's not a Mexican name. You know that's Aboriginal indigenous before Mexican name. Mexican born, but indigenous name. Because everybody's trying to let all these people know that are claiming that they're something that they're not, that idiot, wake up. You have brothers all around you that want to help you, but can't because you want to march. Picket for stuff. Instead of proclaiming your nationality and be done with it. Okay? Carthaginian peace. Carthaginian peace. The imposition of a very brutal peace by completely crushing the enemy. It derives from the peace imposed on Carthage by Rome. After the Second Punic War, Carthage lost all its colonies, was forced to demilitarize, pay a constant tribute to Rome, and could not enter war without Rome's permission. At the end of the Third Punic War, the Romans systematically burned Carthage to the ground and enslaved its population. That's what you're talking about is black slavery or whatever. That's what you're talking about. Not the stuff of you guys marching for civil rights or whatever like that. That's not, slavery in America. No, that's not. That's separate stuff. That's not even nothing to concern yourself with because you've been here before that madness. You didn't come from over there. Somebody brought you here and tell you about Kunta Kinte and fake stories or whatever. I don't care if they have documented facts of it. There's not no millions of people that came over here. There were millions of people here. You don't need to bring millions of people from anywhere if there's already millions of people here. And the purpose was to crush Carthage. And they created a term called Carthaginian peace, which means Carthage must fall. And it fell. But once again, it's a new era of time now. And everything's going to be done under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That's why you have Europeans running to come be Moors. Realizing that the only jurisdiction that really has any authority in the Americas is Moorish Americans. They have a flag, they have constitution, bylaws, they have a holy book, they have national headwear. Matter of fact, the same headwear that they have is the headwear that these Illuminati guys over here, who are the infiltrators of the republics that as Europeans we thought was for us to, be in the Americas and, come here and chill and, you know what I mean? Chill with some Indian girls and, you know what I mean? Just chill. But now they're realizing that they're being Carthaginian peaced on by their own. And they're coming into more science. Europeans. Before Negro black colored people coming in, Europeans coming in this. Understanding that I just want to be a member. Like I just want to have an attachment to Moorish jurisdiction. That is an actuality. Forget about they're gonna go file UCCs and all that. They're coming into the temple. They're coming into active Moorish jurisdictions, not just to learn, but to naturalize. Europeans are doing this. We're not gonna even go and say who and what, which Moors is that or whatever. Conceptually, just like they're saying we don't want to be U.S. citizens, they know that if they're in America, they have to claim to be something. They can't claim to be Italian, Chinese, or whatever like that. You know, they can't claim to be Italian Turks. They can't claim to be, because none of those jurisdictions are here. They can't be Italian Brazilians. Find me an Italian Brazilian somewhere. Identifies themselves as that because, you know, they're from Italy and live in Peru. Italian Peruvians, you don't hear that. So there's only one jurisdiction where these individuals could go if they're not in so-called Europe, where they're supposed to be under the jurisdiction of, you know, Europa, who's the Phoenician, Carthaginian empress. And that's how they've always lived, under the rule of the Moors. So they don't go, don't bring the European in because, you know, they're going to destroy stuff. That's not the ones we're worried about. You are the beast. You've been selling and have all these fake courts and all this stuff. That's the European you need to worry about. What about Europeans who are down with what Noble Drew Ali brought? That went back to the temple to say thank you to the prophet for helping him save his money when the stock market crashed. And he found out Noble Drew Ali died and stood there bawling his eyes out because he couldn't tell this man thank you. It's in the oral statements. That's why you want to hide stuff, right? You want to play like they have some ownership over this. Like somebody could make somebody not be down with the Moors. You know, credentials to be down with the Moors. You just know love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And you know that the Moors are the jurisdiction out here. It's not, you know what I mean? The Moors are the only jurisdiction in the Americas. Like that's the only jurisdiction. Governmental authority. For the jurisdiction where we are, North America. Because South America is already claimed by all our brothers and sisters. They already got all their stuff. We're the ones sitting here talking about Negro Black, going to debate about stuff, you know what I mean? Like, and not have no nationality debating about stuff. Whatever you say is mute, irrelevant. Nobody has to listen. We accommodate people's, you know, ignorance. Because we already know what it is. And people who know have to do the job. You're not about hiding this. Keep this for yourself like, you know, it's some trophy. This is other people's stuff that they need to get on so we could do what we're supposed to do. Instead of playing games or whatever. You know what I mean? Right? Like, we know everybody's Moors. So a certain group of Moors, right? A certain group of Moors called me. Just to muddy the water so you don't know who the hell I'm talking about. But they're in the outside of Moorish, quote unquote, terms. They're another group of Asiatics who have an organization, you know what I mean? Everybody knows who they are, whatever, right? And that Moor was, you know, just dealing with something crazy. But, you know, for some reason, the way that the European is dealing with him is not through Carthaginian peace. they're dealing with him like, okay, well, see if you can figure out whatever, and come back next year. Yeah, just see what you could figure out, and it's big stuff. You know what I mean? That if it was anybody else, immediately they'll pounce. It's not even a question. You already got your, you know, sell all that. Do your time because you already know that's what's going down. And it's not no illegal or whatever either. Like you like some legitimate, real stuff that they make TV shows out of, right? So he's there at the court or whatever, chilling, you know what I mean, waiting for his stuff or whatever. More goes up, bam, bam, right? Withdraw everything, get out of here. Well, all the Asiatics in there, this one Asiatic, right, said, what just happened? Let me go talk to this guy, right? Goes, builds with the Moor. I mean, the Moor tells the Moor, well, yo, you're gonna call whoever. The Moor's like, you mean, what? Like, yeah, that's what this is, right? Called somebody that I know, you know what I mean? We been did stuff together, you know what I mean? Under these, quote unquote labels, right? And he's the head. He's the head of one of these. And he's like, yo, when I saw that thing, I knew that, okay, that's what it was. Because all these guys who are in, black, Hebrew, whatever, you know what I'm saying? All of them, all of them are on Freeman info. Because they, don't want to mess with the Moors. So they think, conceptually, we'll gravitate to that information. Because, I could understand I'm a child of God or whatever like that. I am God or whatever, I'm a sovereign, I'm a jurisdiction or whatever like that. Trust me. They know what's up. But they're not saying that they're Moors. Right? And I only know that because Conscious Hotep, peace to the gods guy, right, talk too much on these social media crap, right? And he's saying that I'd beat all whatever they throw at me. Like legit, could show stuff like, yeah, bam, 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 here's all the stuff. You know what I mean? That I did. I don't need to say I'm more or whatever like that. But he's using European sovereign whatever. Getting off. Right? Why? Well, then I'll just go do that. No. Because it comes back to status again. He's claiming to be a European. He's not European, he's Asiatic. What's he doing European patriot, whatever, as an Asiatic? Who's a Moor that's indigenous to the land? And then light bulb went off. Like, that's what I was missing. Why they just have me on this stall. I can't do nothing. Just call me back. Come back in 6 months. Come back in 3 months. Come back in whatever. And he's the one that's you know what I mean? They're supposed to be going at. And they're on standstill with him. Standstill. And his stuff is huge. Right? So we built, you know what I mean? And trust me, there's no more unity. Watch what's going on in Canaanland, the pineal gland of consciousness. And we're going to force everybody to have to be Moors, anywhere they're at. We already started already. We already got, certain places where Moors know what's up with regard to this birthright. They know what's up with regard to this. And those are the Moors who are going to be the Moors that take this to the next plateau. Only those ones. Everybody else, they already got dashed off the car or whatever. Did roll on the ground or they hit the ground. They already got those ones. Right? Because people think that they can hide from the Prophet and hide from Allah or whatever. You can't hide from them. You really think you're going to hide from Allah or whatever? Really? You gotta do stuff Allah's not gonna see you or whatever. Talk about yourself. Oh yeah, save our people. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do all these speeches and write this and do these $5,000, $7,000 lecture plus plane whatever plus food whatever plus you know what I mean. I have to sell 80% of all my books or whatever like that. So make sure you sell some tickets. You know what I mean? So when I come to your town or whatever like that, and I set up my books, all my books have to sell, and I want my 5,000. And stupid black guy who got some grant or something like that, or who's gonna rape their own people, telling them $50 for them to come to some crap to hear some stateless jackass talk about they know how to fix the problems of black people. And then all these people lose all their fiat and they don't get mad and go kick these guys' ass for telling them crap about stateless stuff. Black people, when that's not even a status that's recognized on any realm of life as something positive. Any realm of living entity, black is not a good thing. In the ants world, black ants, you don't want to bump into black ants. You thought red ants or whatever? Black ants? Those are the worst ants. That's not the ant's nest you want to step on. The black ants. Don't worry about the red ants. Red ants ain't, black ants eat red ants. You know what I mean? You just ask the ants population. They'll tell you. Black means death. That's that simple. You know what I mean? The the apple family, tree growing on, fruit growing on a tree family. Right? When the ones on the tree start turning black, start growing that way. Don't grow towards that. Because black means death on every level of living. Right? What do you mean? Black hole is a positive thing? Black hole is swallowing you into some oblivion. You don't know where you're going to come out. That's something in the universe. You know? So, we're not taken away from the things that are black or dark or highly melanated. We know that, we know what's up. But as an identity, as an individual, don't go there. Negro's a monkey, don't go there. And a river, don't go there. Not Negro. Capital N, oh, no, don't capitalize anything. You know what I mean? Don't do it. Okay. We know what's up. Moors know what's up. All these other people are playing people. If somebody's telling you that, yeah, our history of the people and whatever like that, and they don't have a nationality, just give them talk to the hand or something. If they don't have a nationality, don't listen to them. Don't waste your time. Been there, done that. Doesn't lead anywhere, just leads you marching up and down the place for nothing. For unconstitutional stuff. And then complain why people are coming at you. Where are you? Marching for unconstitutional stuff. If you want to march for something unconstitutional, that means you have no regard for life. You need to get shot up in the street and choked out on the corner. You continually, this is what made it make sense, right? When elders, you know what I mean, say things and you don't pick it up right away, you just think, hey, he just made a funny joke or whatever. No, he was actually talking about real stuff, right? Elder Tosh to be big. Told the Morals. that it's like them telling you to take your children, and instead of taking them to the park, tell them go play on the busiest highway with their ball or whatever. Let's go do that. Selling your own out, being sold out by your own. About conscious whatever, conscious this and that. When anything could be awake. What is conscious? The conscious, who cares if you're conscious? Anything could be awake. What's your nationality? And I'm not talking on no, you know what I mean, certain Moors crap about push cameras and zombies, talk about zombies, go interview a zombie about something. Well, interviewing zombies. Well, you got people out here you could put on. Oh, but they say that they're Moors, so you don't want to put them on. You put some zombie on there pointing at pictures of European Jesuses or whatever like that. Playing around. When you have medium that we could wake up so much people if you put some Moors on there, stop playing all this crap that you're playing. Everybody who has some medium that says, oh yeah, you know, if you never had a Moor on there, talking crap, just flapping. If you're gonna give somebody who says, qualified, mind you know what I mean? Qualified. We're talking about every level of whatever, you know what I'm saying? Qualified. You know, not even gonna argue with their discourse. Okay? And they're gonna say 5,000 for a lecture. 5,000 notes for a lecture. Not only 5,000 notes, right? They need a hotel or something like that or whatever. You know what I mean? And they're bringing with them their products, right? Now remember, they're coming to a so-called Black African conscious community, right? This is their people that they're going to now, right? And they're gonna go there and they're gonna set up their books, you know what I mean? Like they're standing up and their books are stacked like up here. That's how high their books are stacked on the table. Right? This is the table. Their books are stacked up here. I'm not even going to tilt the camera up so you can see where my hand is. I'll just say it's up here. Right? Now, if the end of the event, those people sell all those books, don't forget they got 5,000 up front just because, you know, they say that they're qualified. 5,000. And then they're going to sell all those books. And all those books they're selling at 50 to 80 notes. No deals. Like no buy 5 and get whatever. You're paying 50 to 80 notes for a book. This big or whatever. And they're going to go back on a plane and they're going to leave. And then you're going to go around to all these local vendors who, the same stuff that they pulled out their truck to come vend for their community, that they've been here for 30 years or whatever, right? They went back on the truck with everything that they took off the truck except 5 things. And this guy came from wherever, 5,000 he got already, sold all his books. And then they didn't even support. They sold all their books now. Remember, they had book stacks like this. Now their book stacks like this. And they left. Went back wherever they came from. So they did their job, you know, came here, did a lecture, everybody stand up at the end like, oh yeah. Yeah, come again, shaking picture up, selfie, you know, stupid shit like that. But then all these local vendors been here 15, 20 years or whatever. They left with all their stuff that they came with to the event. And and that individual who sold all their books, they didn't support not one of those vendors. And and on top of them not supporting the vendors, right? Who are at this community event that these so-called people who, they're qualified, say that they're coming to community because they got information or whatever, give them 5,000 for a lecture, all right, cool, come on down, they sell all their books or whatever, and they never bought anything. They didn't support not one of the vendors did they support. Not one. Not one. I know all the vendors, and all of them linked me to find out how come I wasn't there, and I told them that's why I wasn't there. Now you know why Moors don't come around to you guys stupid crap, because all you're doing is playing around with these demons who's in bed with Rome and Inquisitionists and colonists and conquistadors and mercenaries in bed with them. Then they're going to say that, Moors are agents or whatever. We're trying to overthrow the government. We must be ISIS, the IT, anti-government, whatever. Right? Playing you. And they know better. They know better. I think they don't know better. Certain people sat down with Taj Tariq Bey and stuff like that. Sit down. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not talking about people who already got exposed for these things. Sitting down with the master Moorish teachers and not coming back and telling the people that, yo, you know what? All these years I was wrong, you know what I mean? Played you. If I get stoned to death, I get stoned to death. You know what I mean? But you're not, black Asiatics and stuff like that and whatever you're more. Yeah, we killed certain people, you know what I'm saying, so that you wouldn't know that you're Morris. But then I'll come out and admit nothing. So we just have to, show them, yeah, don't tell me about whatever when you have a booger hanging on your nose. That's either I'm going to tell you, or we have a joke, the Moors have a joke going on all night laughing at you with booger on your nose or whatever, trying to talk about, you're the sovereign or something. You have booger. Right? So, before we put this on the record, let me just put something on the record. People like to claim to be, have divine connections to certain individuals of our past, to give them some type of, somebody who really, whatever. But it ain't really like that. You guys are playing everybody. And people don't want to accept the fact that they're getting played. They want to play around like Moors are poppy show. Like claiming that you're Moor isn't the thing to do when there's ample amounts of documented facts of Moors in the past 20 years in America that have done things that would turn your brain to water if they tell you certain stuff that they did with regard to being able to say that, yeah, I'm a Moor, and be dealt with on a different level that you even anticipating the level that certain people are going to deal with you on when you say that you're a Moor. So when we as Moors put things on the record, you know what I mean, that's factual. You know what I mean? Like, take that for what it is. We're not playing games with this. We're not trying to get nobody's fiat or anything like that. We want people to realize this is their birthright. This is your stuff. And people are attacking us like we're doing something wrong because we're telling people to stand for their birthright. You know, and the only reason that people are attacking because we're exposing the fact that they're not supposed to be making fiat off you. They're not supposed to be making fiat off you. They sold you something or you brought them to come talk at something. They're a teacher. That's not the ancient practice. You're paid to be a doctor. Who's paying you? You're the village shaman. Everybody who knows you knows that. I don't know how he does it or whatever, but he'll just rub whatever on there, and then everything's just gone. People are trying to tie themselves to people to give themselves, boost up chest so they can look big, you know what I mean, and be able to tell you 5,000 for a lecture, and you pay, cause he dropped some deep stuff. So he's connected to certain things like that, right? So we're gonna show you. We've already been showed you. People think that this is some, more is just putting out information to, put out information. No, we're putting out information the way we are to counteract all the bullshit that people have been telling you about what this is and about your position in your life where it is right now. If you don't claim to be a Moor, it's death and destruction that you're going to get on the lowest level. Moors who are active are getting death and destruction on the highest level. Right? Yeah, they handcuffed me, had me sitting there, asking me questions, put me in the car, squeezed me up in the back or whatever like that. But did 30 days in the hole or whatever like that. But I have nothing. They never gave me anything. They just said, come here one day. And they just opened the door and they just walked away. And just left me with the back door of the prison open. Not the county jail or some crap like that. Prison. The floor stuff that they show on, whatever. Just take it back. Just let them out. These people are playing their own people. And the ones that are getting played say that they're conscious. They're going to go to a lecture and some guys are going to pass around a plate that they're going to split up in the back. We told you that. Ali Muhammad tried to buy us. They were mad. That's why you're not saying nothing. Because they were mad that we didn't do the debate in Harlem at Black National Theater. All those guys were mad. Because other people out here who they think that out here is just some conscious community or whatever like that. You know what I mean? There's just some other conscious community out here. Some other black guys. Just want to make money. You know what I'm saying? Off, so lectures and blah, blah, blah. Right? People out here said, yo, you're going to Harlem? You cancel the debate because you're going to Harlem. What do you mean I canceled the debate because I'm going to Harlem? What are you talking about? They never told you that he was the one that couldn't come up here or whatever like that? His stuff didn't pan out, his sovereign whatever didn't pan out, so he couldn't come up here? That's why the debate got canceled? They'll tell you that, they just, keep quiet. They tried to do the El Hajj. Take the money. Man told me personally, yo, we split the door. Like, You know people, you know big black national theater is? I know what, you know what I mean? Because we already sent our infiltrator guy from out here, right, to do a lecture out there to see if, you know what I'm saying, we could make something here. We haven't made nothing there. You know, we got black national theater. We can have something at. Right? Raping people, their own people, and people playing around. Like they just did something, you know, stepped on your shoe or something like that. They sold you your birthright. You know that's international war crime, somebody selling you your birthright? This is Frederick Douglass and his his personal his personal, right, reference point as to how to get out of slavery, right? Douglass began his life in bondage. So they're letting you know that he started out Negro, black, colored because he began his life in bondage. Right? Remember, notice they didn't say slavery, bondage. Same thing Morris telling you about being bonded, whatever like that, because you know you're it. If you want to say you're Negro, black, colored, so he's bonded. Working in the fields on Maryland's eastern shore. At age 18, he was sent to Baltimore where he learned to caulk ships. He worked in the local shipyards, earning a wage that was not given to him but to his master. His first step to freedom was to borrow the identity papers of a freed slave. So the first thing that Frederick Douglass, right? Remember, we're talking about Frederick Douglass. Everybody knows who Frederick Douglass is. We don't have to go into anything. His first step to freedom was borrowing the identity papers from a freed slave. It was a custom in the state of Maryland to require the free colored people to have what were called free papers. What do you think free papers is? Free papers is what we call today nationality paperwork. Judicial name proclamation, name correction, whatever you want to call it, claim of right, whatever. That's our freedom papers to get out of slavery. This is Frederick Douglass talking now. You guys, Negro, black, colored, African, whatever guy, who you rep, have days for him and all this type of stuff, but you're not gonna have no papers when that's how he got out of slavery, and you claim to honor him, right? Claim to be kinsman to this man who had freedom papers, which means that he was claiming to not be the status of Negro, black, colored, so they don't classify him as a slave or in bondage. We're not talking about strangers. We're talking about people who we've studied and we know, and we claim to be kinsmen of these people, that we're descendants of them. If you're a descendant of Frederick Douglass, where's your freedman papers? I personally don't care how you think about homosexuality and black stuff, because it's irrelevant. Homosexual probably made your shirt or your shoes. You're not worried about that. Are you worried about homosexual joining some black stuff that's not going nowhere? And then when challenged, want to pretend like, to the people, this is how it is or whatever, blah blah blah. But then on the back door, you're sliding Moore's little terms or whatever like that. You know what I mean? Having black conversation, but you stick little stuff in to make Moore's think like, you know, you're trying to, um, you know, reel us on that, you know about Moors, why don't you tell those people out there that they're Moors? Why are you telling Moors that you're a Moor? What do you mean? Why are you gonna tell people who don't know that they're Moors that they're Moors? Don't tell Moors that, you know, George Washington was not the first president. Yeah, we don't care about that. Go tell those people over there that don't know about this. That we have the cure for the zombie nation. Get them proclaim their nationality and you stop being a zombie ASAP. Proclaim your nationality then, hey. You know what I mean? Baby mama drama, you know, getting pulled over because you had one beer. You know what I mean? Them stealing your property and all that. Just because you want to do nigger shit and think that, it's just cool. You know what I mean? You pay taxes to a foreigner. This is not their land or whatever like that. You know what I mean? Tell your own people $5,000 for a lecture, sell all your stuff and not support no local vendors, and then you're supposed to get called back again to come do something else? Get the hell out of here. Right? All they're doing is gaming our people. You know what I mean? And again, Islam to brother Rami Salam El for talking up, you know what I mean? For these fakers selling out their own people. When they sat at the feet of the master teachers, not because of class or whatever like that, just because they know them. And they take things as, you know, yeah, well, just, you know what I mean, consciousness, whatever, community, it's a conscious community, so, we'll work together, I mean, the blacks and the whatever, working together or whatever, you know. That's why people could talk whatever. But, we already know, as Moors, Aleem ended Seti's career. He ended his career. I ended Ali Muhammad's career. Right? It's not no secret. Polite ended his own career. You know what I mean? Because these guys want to be rapper niggers. The conscious rapper niggers. I mean, we got feathers on and, we worry about their consciousness or whatever like that, raping their people. $5,000 for a lecture. And paid your plane stuff. So there's $5,000 for a lecture or whatever. And then your plane was probably about 600 or whatever like that. And then don't remember, this is under the guise of black community got a grant. So, because we got a grant, we're going to invite, this guy because he's the prominent whatever guy of the black stuff. So we're going to bring the prominent black guy here, and then all these people are going to come to this black guy stuff, buy all his black stuff, and then not support any other vendors, just support that guy. But we've been here, telling people, show people receipts or whatever like that. People from Germany calling us, people from Netherlands calling us, people freaking South Africa, UK, all over the United States, Jamaica, Barbados, Bermuda. Everybody's just calling, trying to find out what the hell is this? What are you talking about, Moors and all this stuff? I heard something about my grandma saying something, but I didn't pay attention to that or whatever. But that's real stuff here. Yeah, that's a. And then we're out here and people out here fronting, playing. It's like being a diamond field in, one of those, slums or something like that. Where you have worms in the carpet, stuff like that, and people could be out of that tomorrow. They complaining in March, picket, get nothing. Have these guys $5,000 lecture, come on down, you know, the game is done when people really want it to be done, right? And we have to like stress the point all the time that we really don't care what inactive, passive people are doing. We don't care. We're interested in those people who want to change themselves. We're interested in people who realize that something's wrong and that there's a solution to it. And it's common sense, it's not rocket science or whatever. Anybody else playing games, do your thing. You know what I mean? Right? So, it's kind of good. It's kind of good, It's kind of good because Moore's are on the same frequency now. You know what I mean? Moore's on the same frequency. So the reason why we brought up our free man, Frederick Douglass, is because of this article or whatever written by Umar Johnson, the nationally certified school psychologist. He's nationally certified as a school psychologist, but doesn't have a nationality. That means he's not certified. Because if he's a nationally certified psychologist, he should have a nationality. Nationally certified. I'm telling you, 5,000 a lecture or whatever like that, because I know what's good out here. You know what I mean? I'm not telling people, we're not new to this. You know what I mean? You hear Bobby Hemmett was in Toronto? You know who Bobby Hemmett is? As far as awakened people? You know who that is? That's like Taj of the metaphysical occult realm. He came here. Boyd Graves? You never researched Boyd Graves before? United States Special Virus Flowchart? You already created AIDS as King Alfred plan, extermination, whatever, for Negro, black, colored people? Boyd Graves. B-O-Y-D Graves. And he's in the grave now. Right? Show you how the name will kill you. Boyd Graves. Go research him. Don't worry about the crap that they talk about. Go research his stuff, what he wrote. So you can see that there's been a constant attack on our people for claiming to be anything that they're not. We're not even just talking about zombies who have their pants off their ass or whatever. You know what I mean? They have no, purpose in life whatsoever. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about people who are thinking people, who have libraries like behind me, bigger than this. They got all types of artifacts, whatever like that, and they have all this stuff that they're the most African of the whatever, but they don't have a nationality. They can't tell you where in Africa they tie back to. And when they tell you where they tie back to, you're asking yourself, why are you here? Why aren't you where your ancestors come from if you honor them? Moors are where our ancestors came from, so we don't have to go nowhere. We're here. The point of the matter is people have been playing our people, and it has to be stressed on a serious level because our people don't even know what's going on when they put their car in the machine and nothing comes out. They're going to be lost. They're going to not know what to do. They're not going to know anything about, now it's really time to discharge stuff. They're going to be getting threatened and they're going to be being executed on with letters and red letters and whatever like that, not signed by people with stamped signatures and stuff like that, telling them give up their house, give up their whatever they got. They don't even know what's going on. But they're supposed to be cognizant, know their self and all that. think these videos that we're doing are just like we're giving you your salvation? That you're complaining that you ain't got because you got problems. This guy did something and that person did something or whatever. You know, the conscious people are gonna fry first because the dumb people they've been getting raped, so it ain't nothing new to them. It's the people who claim that they know their self that are gonna get it first. Because you've been talking all this crap, got all these guns and bullets and whatever like that. But when stuff kicks off or whatever, before they shoot you in the head or whatever, they're gonna ask you what's your nationality. Oh, you know what your nationality is? Okay, what's your number on the CDC, index, whatever? You don't know what that is? Okay. And they'll go down the line. And if they get the birth certificate and you agree that, yeah, that's what it is that identifies you, bullet to the head. We already told you see what they're doing to indigenous people in New Papa or whatever. Like, they're killing people picking fruits and stuff like that. Those aren't slaves or whatever. Those are Aboriginal indigenous people who thought, yeah, well, we'll just stay off the grid. Well, you can't stay off the grid if there's encroaching. Because your grid's about to be encroached on. And if you're not, up to date with the technology or whatever, you think it's bow and arrows or something like that, like this is, you're done for. And the only way that this thing would turn around is if these individuals in North America, in the islands, that think that they're something, start claiming who they really are. Because everybody's getting judgment for their ignorance. Because everybody knows that they're Moors. Everyone knows that they're Moors. They're not telling. They want 5,000 for a lecture. So you yourself, because they're not going to read people's crap that they write. Right? We're about putting out realness. We're not going to put out these guys' crap. Understanding word symbols in the black community. The N-word and the psychological Holocaust against African people by Umar R. Abdullah Johnson, nationally certified school psychologist, kinsman to Frederick Douglass. Understanding word symbols in the black community, the N-word, and the psychological Holocaust against African people. Now remember, like we said, that behind closed doors, they'll say whatever crap they want to the people. But behind closed doors, or hidden in plain sight, are going to be key words that these individuals use in order to get Moors to think that they're down with the Moors. But really they're about fleecing their people. It's false prophets. They don't care about the people. They care about their pockets or whatever like that. It's come out already. We just want to put it out there again. That these are the conscious rapper guys. This is what they're about. This is the conscious rapper guys. The lecturer rapper guys. Right? That they want to pose with fiat notes, like Mayweather. You know what I mean? Right? They're not for the people. They're for raping the people. Period. Understanding word symbols in the black community, the N-word, and the psychological Holocaust against African people. And the psychological Holocaust against African people is calling them black community and African people. That's the psychological Holocaust. And you're going to find the key word in there. When you read the little crap article, you're gonna find the key word that you know. Only Moors use that word. You can't even try to say that you know what I mean. The nationally certified guy is gonna use this word in his little essay that he's talking about, and then nothing relative to that word is in the essay or the paper or the whatever lecture that it is. But they're gonna use the word though. Playing games with people's birthright, denationalizing them. Right? Memphis Police Department threatens to demote black cops if they keep complaining about racism. Right? You know, black stuff is dead. You guys play all you want, but whatever. Frat which declared there will never be a nigger in SAE recently hazed black pledgee to death. You know. George Dedunes. George Desunes. Right? Went to go join these guys' crap fraternity, same crap that we tell these Moors. You can't be a Moor and be in a fraternity. Because where's your allegiance like? You know, well, nah, this is, you know what I mean, the stuff that we came up with for that stuff, and now you got the tattoo or whatever, it's the brotherhood or whatever. Crap. That's denationalizing yourself. Because sororities are Greek, so now you're a European. Asiatic, trying to impose himself, no different than the black guys try to impose themselves on the United States of America Corporation, where they had to create their Klansmen to lynch them because you're not going to encroach on our stuff like how we encroach on your stuff, because we know that you're in a dead status. So don't try to say you're a citizen in a dead status. We will lynch you. We'll tie you to horses and pull you apart. That's what we will do. We will kill your leaders if you try to encroach that civil rights crap. And the only leaders that we will allow is the leaders that we say you can, whatever, put as your front man. Own. So to go tell your children, yeah, go get that good European education in college or whatever. Don't get caught up in these sorority and frat party and crap like that. Right? Don't even go on those ones. Because haze the black pledgee to death. Right? Was going to be a doctor. So in all of the mediums of now I'm connected to God, whether it's, you know, consciousness, religion, whatever, music, whatever, right? Everybody came out and put something on the record so people could know, get down with what the Moors are talking about. People disregard it, you know, think it's this. They don't mean that, right? So we'll start with the Gospel of Hip Hop. KRS-One, hip hop guy that everybody knows. Everybody knows. Not a secret who he is. Page 560. According to Black's Law Dictionary, 5th edition, law is described as that which is laid down, ordained, or established. A rule or method according to which phenomena or actions coexist or follow each other. Law in its generic sense is a body of rules of action or conduct prescribed by a controlling authority and having binding legal force. According to the same dictionary, a law that which must be obeyed and followed by citizens subject to sanctions or legal consequences. Law also interpreted as a solemn expression of the will of the supreme power of the state. Law can also mean a body of principles, standards, and rules made known to the public by government. In a scientific sense, like with the science of living things, biology, law is a scientific theory that has been tested repeatedly. Okay? Now, if that doesn't tell you that, you know what I mean, he learned a little something, you know what I mean, on his path and his travels, right? And that he's on it. You don't have to have the LB or nothing like that. It would be nice, you know, if they would have LB. You know, nice meaning that it would be foolish for them to have LB on their name and be mixing Black's Law Dictionary with, you know, black stuff. You should have LRB on your name if you're speaking from a law perspective, because, you know, if you don't, what you're saying means nothing, because the status of the individual saying something with regard to law is civil liter mortuus, not in propria persona. And you know, it comes back to the same thing, you know what I mean? You know, certain people know Sabir. They're around Sabir or whatever like that. They put them nationality or whatever. Or they just, no, I don't need that, you know, whatever. Right? Same way that people are going to be around the master teachers. You know what I mean? Because, you know, as new Moors, you know, to us, Sabir Bey is a master teacher. Alim is a master teacher. Asir is a master teacher. You know, it's not just some guys our age or a little older that have some information. Nah, like those are sent sages for the generation of, you know what I mean, 70s and 80s. Have a reference point. You know, Black Dot. That's master teacher to us. Don't get it twisted that, you know what I mean, Moors don't recognize what's up. Because certain people recognize what's up. And they support it on that level. And they let it be known by putting not, you know, little foolish statements to try to say that, you know, they're connected to the Moors, but really showing some allegiance. You know. That's why we say, you know, Habahaya Watha Kamini. Right? Master teacher. You know what information he dropped on the Moors? But all everybody's concerned about is that he said Moors black. Yeah, but he also had a 5-hour DVD on the Moors. You didn't see that? How come you only saw the stuff that says that Moor means black? What about the, okay, he has books and stuff like that. You know, he has curriculums and stuff like that. It's talking about Moorish history in there. But how? No, but like, yeah, he might tell you Black Power or whatever like that, and you know, he might be talking about, you know, Panther Prince and it's a Black Panther and stuff like that in his logo. But you know, when he calls Moors, when he meets Moors, he says Islam, not, you know, Black Power or nothing like that. Something you've seen in a video. He told the Moors the first time ever. Everybody knows Jose Pimienta Bay, master teacher. The first time anybody saw him in a fez was with Canaanland Moors. He's a master teacher. Like how the people before us look at John Henrik Clark, Dr. Ben, or whatever like that. That's how these people are to new Moors. Right? The young elders that came on a certain frequency for certain individuals. And then you have false prophets trying to usurp that. Make you think that, nah, it's not about what is Islam, it's not about what, it's this guy over here. Because he's debating this guy, and then you guys miss all the good stuff. Getting caught up in some crap, dealing with stateless BS. On every level. If we look at, is this Muslim? Right? We've given Moors multiple examples of us having conversations, like building conversations with Muslims, Sunni, Shiite, Orthodox, or whatever. You know what I mean? Go to the mosque, have to go to Mecca once in their life to make a pilgrimage, whatever. We know those people on those levels. So like I tell you, this is the most multicultural society in the world. Everybody's here, right? Everybody from somewhere in the world is here. Okay? They always, it never fails. Always wanna debate how could you have a Quran when the only Quran is the Quran of whatever, right? And they'll go back and forth about everything that's contrary to what they have in their religion, blah, 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 blah. But as soon as we say, as Moors, no, we're not that kind of Muslim that you are. We're Sufis. They say, why don't you just tell me that's the Muslim that you meant? Now I know why you have your own Quran. Now I know why you have your own prophet. Now I recognize why you have the fez and you're wearing it. Now I know why you have the Moroccan flag. It's a totally different perspective. So, just to shut up all the people who are talking about crap about Moors are Sunni, because, Prophet Noble Drew Ali said Muhammad, and if he said Muhammad, that means that he's connecting to Islam, and, the Islamic people are whatever. We're going to end it right now with something, right? That, I don't know if it came out before, I don't know, whatever, right? Something I saw, I was like, okay, there it is. These people are done for, right? So you're going to go get this one. Muhammad, the first Sufi of Islam. Muhammad, the first Sufi of Islam. And now we'll see why Noble Drew Ali said, we honor all divine prophets and put Muhammad's name in there. Now we'll understand the real perspective of Muhammad's connection to Islam, right? And what perspective was he looking at this thing, right? Going to go through some, just some stuff just to give Noble Drew Ali some little extra so that people could stop playing like, we're just shit talking when we talk about his level from an Islamic perspective, which includes I, Self, Law, and Master, which is all nation of gods and earths, and all those guys who want to rep, their God and all that. That really, this is where it's at as far as your, creed as Muslim, whatever you want to make up, say that it is. When really, they're not going to show you the Salat stuff. You can't. The Hebrews or the whoever, nobody's not going to pull that out, because that's going to tie the Moors to, they used to do Salat in ancient Egypt. What was Salat? It was yoga. Lots of yoga pose. Almost 3 years had passed since that resentful evening, and Muhammad was still the victim of persecution. He suffered a profusion of insults, and thorns were thrown in his path too, even within the precincts of the holy Kaaba. His thoughts swirled over the desert of pain, where he could see Muslims suffering terrible torture. A handful of Meccans, 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 who had helped the message of Allah, who had accepted the message of Allah as their one and only God, had become the victims of persecution, especially the freed slaves. They were tortured mercilessly by the members of the Quraysh. To ensure the safety of the Muslims against the cruelty of the Meccans, Muhammad had sent 40 of his followers to Abyssinia. They were to go to the court of King Negus, seeking the favor of asylum and friendship. Suddenly, an ocean of voices drummed the walls of the Kaaba. The poets had returned from their poetry contest. Epithets like dreamer, stargazer, village boy grazed Muhammad's awareness. But he fixed his eyes on the revelation which Zayd had pasted on the wall. Right below it, a poet by the name of Labid was hanging his winning composition. All the gods of the Kaaba be my witness. Such words can only issue forth from the source of divine inspiration, Labid swung around the face to Muhammad. Everything but Allah is unnecessary. I believe in you, Muhammad. You are the messenger of Allah, and Allah is the one and only God of the Kaaba. Muhammad recited his response, his eyes the shimmering oceans of love and light. Allah is the God of all peoples and of all nations. Watch out, Labid. Muhammad is a sorcerer. Mistel splintered in the fabric of his silence. Tell us, Muhammad, why do you hate poetry? Inside the ocean of my love for everyone and everything, there is no room for hatred, Muhammad smiled. How can I hate poetry when I say that Allah has treasures beneath his throne and the keys of them are the tongues of poets? And yet, to find those keys, one needs the light of wisdom. Remember, Gospel of Hip Hop. Hip Hop decoded. People who are artists who do with poetry, right? Hip hop artists that are poets, but they're writing, not poetry though, literary work for people to come to higher levels of consciousness. And yet, to find those keys, one needs the light of wisdom. Some poetry is wisdom, and wisdom is like a lost camel. Wherever his owner finds her, he still has the most right to her. I'm just going to skip ahead to some highlighted parts. I was right. You, Muhammad, hate our gods and riches, and you are inventing your own sacred rites to drive all the merchants away from the Kaaba, bringing upon us the curse of ruin and poverty. Abu Jahl's rage was mounting. Unto each nation we have given sacred rites. which they are to perform. So let them not dispute with thee on the matter, but summon thou unto thy Lord. Thou indeed followest the right guidance. Right guidance, you say? New rituals, you mean? Urging us to discard the old ones to satisfy your own vanity and madness? Was Abu Jahl's fiery inquisition. Are you going to stand there, Muhammad, reciting poetry? Why don't you defend your honor by telling us why you continue to defile the holiness of the Kaaba with lies and warnings? Abu Jahl challenged his disdain, inciting the spectators. Muhammad could not help but seek the aid of the revelation. Prophets and messengers have come to every part of this world, if you only knew. 124,000 of them have come and gone, but each and every one of them was scorned and rejected. I pity you more than I hate you, Muhammad, Abu Jahl exclaimed with a twinkle of mirth. Evil spirits have taken hold of you. He stole a glance at the exorcist, the man. The man is the man who can strike the demons dead in your head. Let him assist you. He beckoned the man to step forward. I am the master of demons, Muhammad. The man edged closer. Tell me about your malady. I will not only heal you, but will cure you of all superstitions, Meccans who hound you to the very gates of hell. Praise be to Allah. We praise Him and seek help from Him. To one whom God guides, no one can lead astray. And to the one whom God sends astray, no one has the power to guide. I bear witness that there is none worthy of being served save Allah. He has no equal. Muhammad smiled to himself, his look warm and indulgent. All wise words are snatched out from the deeps of the oceans. They are not the words of a conjurer or a soothsayer, like I was told, that man sang poetically. Give me your hand, Muhammad. I want to be a slave to the messenger of Allah. This stargazer has bewitched the sorcerer too, Abu Jahl waved his arms. You are a fake and you spout drivel, Muhammad. Amir ibn Asi challenged menacingly. Why don't you keep your Allah to yourself and stop disturbing our gods of the Kaaba? Who are the keepers of our homes and fortunes? Allah is the high God of the Kaaba, my God and yours. True love and beloved, Muhammad responded. He is the same God worshipped by everyone, by the Jews and the Christians. Say we believe in Allah, and that which is revealed unto us is that which was revealed unto Abraham, Ishmael, and Isaac, and Jacob, and the tribes, and that which Moses and Jesus received from our Lord. We make no distinction between any of them, and unto him we have surrendered. Are you the author of these revelations, Muhammad, or the author of madness? Khalid ibn Walid gawked derisively. Our gods have been here for centuries. Their divine names are grafted into our hearts. Why should we believe in your revelations, which urge us to bow before Allah alone? I affirm the truth of every revelation. They have come down as a holy book from the source of truth, and that source is Allah, remembered by countless divine names, the God of all nations. Allah Most High will draw us together as we return home to Him, the source of love. Muhammad's eyes confirmed the truth as he spoke. In the name of love, wasn't Jesus crucified by the same message? Abu Jahl's anger could not be contained. And where are the Christians now? Eating the dust of Abyssinia with their wicked tongues. And where is Jesus now? He lives in the breath of the Holy Spirit, if you only knew, Muhammad murmured. I am the closest of all people to Jesus, the Son of Mary, in this world and hereafter. For all prophets are brothers with different mothers but one religion. You profess to know everything, Muhammad, don't you? Abu Jahl unleashed a handful of stones which grazed Muhammad's shoulders without causing him harm, shunning reality and causing rift and discord. Your own uncles don't believe you, you impostor. Abu Jahl hurled another handful of stones before pouncing on him. If you are not under the protection of Abu Talib, I would have surely killed you by now. He flung his mantle around Muhammad's neck, twisting and tightening it fiercely. Shame on you, Abu Jahl, Abu Bakr intervened. You mean to kill a man merely because he said his God is his Lord? He stood guarding Muhammad. Muhammad gasped for breath as he walked away. Shake yourself free of error and seek the treasures within your heart and inside the caskets of your imagination, plucking the stars of wisdom from the very heavens and bringing them back to earth as gifts from the beloved. He was drifting in the lazy sunshine mist, oblivious to the showers of dirt and stones falling at his heels. The poets and the politicians, jeering and applauding, had turned into a band of hoodlums. But Muhammad was homeward bound, not even aware that his white robe was muddy. Labid and Daman followed him, distraught and humbled. When the garment of flesh is torn open, and the soul is released to its eternal abode, then men will know that Allah alone is the beloved we all seek through different means and names. A groan of longing escaped Muhammad's thoughts. Forgive me, Muhammad. I slandered you with my pen, and in my thoughts, Labid voiced his own lament. Allah has treasures beneath the throne, and the keys are the tongues of poets. Haven't I said that before? Muhammad was jolted to awareness. Teach us the ways of Islam, Muhammad, the man appealed dreamingly. Learn to know yourself, the man, was Muhammad's tender response. How do I get to know Allah? The man's eyes were gathered the stars of urgency as Muhammad got closer to home. He who knows his own self knows Allah. Muhammad gazed unseeingly. But how? Both Labid and the man asked in unison. Acquire knowledge. It enables its possessor to distinguish right from wrong. It lights the way to heaven. It is our friend in the desert, our society in solitude, our companion when friendless. It guides us to happiness. It sustains us in misery. It is an ornament amongst friends, an armor against enemies. With knowledge, man rises to the heights of goodness. Muhammad was lumbering toward the entrance to his home. But be true to yourself in the truest sense of the word. True in word, in deed, and in thought. Now go home. May Allah guide you and keep you in his favor and mercy. What makes a true believer, Muhammad? Labid was quick to ask before Muhammad could disappear behind the door. No one is a true believer unless he desires for his brother that which he desires for himself. Muhammad breathed softly. So, this is one that you want to get for sure, just because they go in on Muhammad being a Sufi. Not no Sunni Shiite BS that these people are pushing, saying that that's Islam, right? Those ones that claim that they're Shiite and whatever like that are the ones that were casting the stones and, you know what I mean, dissing. No different than like what we got today. No different than what we got today. People who recognize that Noble Drew Ali came, brought some certain stuff, but we're not going to honor him. We're going to take his lessons and take his concepts and take everything that he brought and then push it out of this new face. You know, people are stupid, they don't study. So we can show them that, you know, Frederick Douglass brought this. And they'll just accept the fact because, you know, I'm the nationally certified guy of the psychologist stuff. So everybody's going to listen to me and they'll call me to come do lectures, 5,000 and all that stuff. Right? And then have events where, you know, people come out and then they don't support the local vendors. You know, and then they get fat off their people. And then they go on thing and then they're posing with like, stacks that they got from somebody that they jacked. Letting people know that what we're about is pockets. That's all. That's the conscious stuff. The conscious stuff is, like we said, told people a long time ago, Mental Wrestling Federation. That's what they're on. They're on some off the top ropes and consciousness or whatever. Tag team stuff. Playing everybody who says that they're somebody. You're nobody if you have no nationality. And these people know that. They know what's up. Right? They know what's up. No withdrawal, oral statements, what I mean? They're gonna tell you whatever. If you go to a moral science temple and you say, can I get oral statements off the street, and they don't give it to you, they're probably, they smell. You go there and you want a Quran, and they don't give it to you, more than likely. We're not talking about the people who are forced to reproduce these things because they've been out of circulation for 100 years. And people are trying to play like, they own stuff that Noble Drew Ali brought. We're not talking about those people. I mean, we're talking about the people who call themselves Morris Science Temple of America. Anybody that calls themselves Morris Science Temple of America, and they have a door that, you open and go inside or whatever, you should, because remember, this is 2015, this is not, back in the day. Okay? And I know from us having a temple out here that because you're photocopying religious pamphlets or whatever like that, right? The printer place has a little thing or whatever that you're getting those copies for next to nothing. Just because it's for, religious or whatever. So they can afford to just give it to you if you walk off the street and just go in the market, stick your head in. Yo, you guys got Quran in here? You guys got one-on-one questionnaire? Oral statements? Morris literature? Morris Guide newspaper? Okay, here. Here's a little donation. Let me get those. And they don't give it, they're probably dirty. Because, not more Science Temple stuff. It's Noble Drew Ali stuff. And he said that it belongs to the people. And the people think that they're coming to join something. Why you join something that you belong to? That's yours. Ever think about, like Morris say, go join the Morris Science Temple. Okay. And then they go to the Morris Science Temple and they turn back because Morris Science Temple looks like church. And they're supposed to be conscious coming into, this consciousness. But the place where they're told to go, that's supposed to be elevating, is practicing the things that they just came out of, that they're trying to leave. And made everybody dash this away. Because they got played by their own. Have them thinking this is more to do. Have them thinking that this is some, just put up videos just because, let's see which one gets the most hits on the stuff and the views, and then if it has, this much views, then yeah, we're gonna get, a check from YouTube or something like that. This information. This people's stuff. That's like we told people. Not new to this. We had mobile library out here. We had mobile library. You know how real that is? A mobile library where you just call, right? You get a bookless mail to you. You know what I'm saying? You get a bookless mail to you on the website, sign or whatever like that. I want a book list. All right, send you a book list, and then you could borrow books. That's mobile. Meet you anywhere you're at. We're gonna come meet you. Give you your books because it's information. Right? That's how real this is. Sister Zakina, we brought her here. That's like high level Nuwapian. That's not no small timer. Master teacher. We brought her here. You know big time Sister Zakina is? Like it's real. It's so real. But the only way that people are gonna know that it's real is more is talk about it. Because we already know dirty Moors haven't done what they're supposed to do. So don't really talk about waiting for somebody to do something or whatever like that. So I think before I build this website, let me just wait and see, what there is out there for the. What do you mean? The Moors came in and said, yo, you know what? We need a website, a directory for Moors. Yo, Moorish directory. Yeah, start a website. Information is getting out. I think more that, what are we gonna do? Hey, let's start a website. Actually, no, they already got websites out there. Oh, I'll start a newsletter website. Oakland Star dot whatever. Yeah, and then we're gonna push, whatever, do videos and you know what I'm saying, or whatever, get information out. Yeah, I know Grand Sheet give you permission to do that. Me personally, I listen to hip hop. You know what I mean? And you know, Bam's the only thing that came close to a Moorish hip hop perspective. Because, they were saying that they're Moors and they're down with hip hop. It's like, hold on a second. What do you mean you go to Taj classes or whatever? Hold on a second. Like Planet Rock guys or whatever? They're going to Taj classes. Not just any Moors just doing some classes. Taj classes. Like sitting down, chilling or whatever like that. Taking in a class. You know what I mean? Sitting down, chilling with Grand Chief Nature. Taking in a class. These are hip hop icons. Master teachers. On Morris Science, like in the classes. Dougie Fresh Dad does classes. Like his dad does classes about Moorish stuff. But everybody knows, beatboxing and all that. You know who Dougie Fresh is? I mean, Khaled did all this lecture, you know what I mean? Talking about all this stuff about Noble Drew Ali and whatever like that. Nobody, nobody goes and implements that. But they wreck Khalid hard. They wreck Khalid Muhammad so hard. But y'all didn't see that lecture? Last lecture that he did or whatever? He said that he's more and honors Noble Drew Ali and told everybody Islam and all that and told Nation of Gods and Earth, stop fronting. Y'all got the lessons. You need to answer. And it's still not gonna say that your words. That's Khalid though. Like that's Khalid Muhammad. From the Donahue or whatever like that. Everybody was like, yo, who's this guy? Anybody who never knew who he was, what black whatever was, real, black supremacy, whatever like that. Tell European what it is, no playing around. I don't care if you're a radio station, ban me, have your little committee or whatever like that, put sanction on me, whatever. I don't care. People's info. You're not stopping the people's info. Steve Coakley, you're not stopping the people's info. We're masters after decipher this thing. Khalid Muhammad came out and said that he's a Moor. Everybody's pretending like, yeah, honor Khalid Muhammad, yeah, he died today, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. What about the part when he said that he's a Moor? How come you guys don't talk about that part? How come you don't talk about Frederick Douglass had Freeman papers? Well, you're kin to Frederick Douglass, so you know what I mean? I know what it's about, abolition of the slave trade, you know what I'm saying? Because my ancestors kicked slave masters' asses or whatever. You know what I mean? If anybody knows the psychology of mental slavery, I gotta know it because, my ancestor was the man. Freed people from mental slavery, Right? Playing people with their own stuff. And they know better. And they purposely choose not to tell you. We told you, Frederick, why don't you, instead of these dykes or whatever, going and asking him stupid questions about, what is the lesbians, black lesbians coming into. But next time this guy does a lecture where you're at or whatever, ask him to talk about the Freeman papers that Frederick Douglass had to use to get out of slavery. Before all the, rebellious stuff and all that. Why did he have to use Freeman papers? And if that's your ancestor, where's your Freeman papers at? Because if a Negro black colored guy that was classified as a slave got freedman papers to get him out of bondage, doesn't that mean that since back then nationality was the order of the day? What do you classify yourself as? Like, come on, man. We know Frederick Douglass is, you know what I mean, like the black liberation stuff. You know what I mean? Mr. March and Pickett. Mr. We need to get out of this, oppression of, the white man or whatever like that. So, what's the issue? The guys who they're following don't want them to get down with this. But that means no more posing up with the stats. That is where the conscious moving guys, you got stats because you guys filled up the plate at the lecture. we're just gonna show you that, you know what I mean? You got stacks up in there. What do you mean? Community center? For what? What do you mean a community center? Nah, you can just file a bond with the secretary of whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then when you file the bond with the secretary of whatever, yo, they're gonna give you the check for the whatever, and then look right here, you know what I'm saying? See that? That's a 2001 whatever. Like, we've been doing this. This works. They robbing people. Switch the name of their thing, right? Switch the name. Switch the name of their thing. That they were doing fraud in to a new name, still doing fraud, same face, different name. And people have ever checked, these guys have 18 different organizations that they belong to in the past 10 years. The same people. Change the flavor of the ice cream. Have people buy ice cream all day, shit, and just the flavor, you know, vanilla shit. Oh yeah, chocolate shit. You know, sprinkles, butterscotch shit. You know what I mean? And people just buying out the whole place. So it's almost 9:30. You know what I mean? Go get your little drink, your little tea, you know, stretch your mind, and come back again for Morris Heritage and History School, MHHS Eyes Wide Open on Blog Talk Radio. That's coming up at 9:30. Islam to all the Moors that continue to do what we got to do. We already know what we have to do. And whoever is not going to do what they're supposed to do is not going to do what they're supposed to do. So let's just keep it moving, do our thing. All active Moors, stay active. You know what I mean? Allah and the Prophet and, you know what I mean? Like, everybody, every ancestor, whatever like that, is shining down blessings, you know what I mean? Spiritual, you know, born again on the Moors that are active. Trust me, you're a little bit, you know what I mean? We'll battle a little bit, but trust me, the ancestors got us. That's personal message from the ancestors to all the active Moors, right? We are where we're supposed to be. So you stay active. Don't worry about what nobody else is doing that claims that they're whatever. They're gonna do what they're doing. Moors who are eyes wide open, seeing and knowing. I'm saying you know who you are. You have to call out anybody or nothing like that. You know who you are. Stay on the path. We got this. Regardless of whatever people want to say, see, smell, hear, taste, or whatever like that. We know what's up. So Islam to all active Moors. This is definitely not over. You're going to see us again. You know what I mean? Also, too, make sure you get at Brother Rami Il and Brother Rami Salam Il for the Taj going on in Cali in April. You know, because remember, it's not a lecture, it's a class. There's not no come clapping for crap. I mean, get some claps on. Your clapping exercise when you come to more stuff. That's not. It's about take notes, studying. You know what I mean? Just like what's going to be going on at 9:30. Right? Because it doesn't stop for active marks. It's constant, whatever. When we get a chance, you know, take a little break or whatever. But, you know, don't forget Grand Sheik Lord Justice El Bay out in Mecca. You can get the property of Moorish American t-shirts. Don't forget, you know, this is birthright. We're Moorish American, property of Moorish American. You've been here. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam, Rome must fall, Rome will fall, Rome is falling. You already know. Oh, and for those people who don't got it, if you don't know, 347-945-5899. 347-945-5899. Blog Talk Radio. MHHS. Eyes Wide Open. 9:30. Islam to all the Moors. Active Moors. Dirty Moors, Islam to you too. But time's over. We're gonna be doing the rolling out the cart. Islam.